Thank you, Tom, very, very much. And I want to also thank Farmers Union for your leadership in helping us put this together. This is very simple. Basically, farmers need help when they suffer a disaster. It's that simple. Farmers are not out to, get a handout here. Farmers just deserve to get a break when there's a disaster that destroys their crops, it destroys their livelihood, and it's just been really a problem here in the Congress, and more of a problem for farmers that it takes Congress so long to respond to a disaster. And a lot of us in ag country sometimes have to piggyback on larger disasters in other parts of the country, whether it's hurricanes Katrina or Rita or whatnot, because those disasters, they're also disasters, just like we suffer disasters in our part of the world, but they get the prominence. They're on television, they get the big newspaper stories more than do we. Our disasters are just as great, sometimes greater. It's kind of a stealth disaster. It just it creeps up on you, drought, say, year after year. And it's just harder to get visual, media recognition of that compared, say, with other disasters. And we also have to piggyback often on those other disasters. And that's wrong. We should not have to wait to piggyback on some other natural disaster that gets perhaps a little bit more prominence than we get. So we believe, those of us who have written this legislation, that there should be some assurance that when a disaster strikes, that producers do get some assistance, not have to wait for Congress, not have to wait for some other natural disaster. And we believe by setting up a trust fund that's there, that's separate from any appropriations process, any other congressional disaster process, the fund there will then be available to pay monies out of to farmers, to producers who suffer disasters. And it's the amount of money we've set aside in this trust fund is basically the same amount as we paid out for disasters in the past. That is, over 21 years, about $20 billion for farmers paid out. And we believe that the system we set up is a good way to meet disasters on in a real-time basis so that people get paid. It's also important to be paid when there's a disaster, or compensated, farmers to be compensated for this disaster, because clearly farmers want, they go to the bank, they need credit. Banker says, well, wait a minute, is Congress going to pass that agriculture disaster assistance or not? And what are the terms? What are they going to be? Gee, I don't know what they're going to be. The farmer says it's just, and so everybody's kind of hoping for the best. This adds more certainty. It adds more predictability. So that when farmers go to the bank to get credit to plant, whatnot, and when the bankers look to see what loans they can give, the certainty is there to help farmers and ranchers get the job done. I'm very pleased that this will be also part of the Farm Bill. When the Farm Bill comes up on the floor, we in the Finance Committee will have reported out this ag disaster provision. There'll then be an amendment to the Farm Bill, and this measure will also help the Farm Bill because we're providing revenues for ag disaster here, and actually there'll be some other provisions passed out of the Finance Committee that will help agriculture, which enables the Agriculture Committee, of which I'm a member, and some behind me are also members, to then make sure that the commodity program in the Farm Bill is solid. So the safety net in the Farm Bill is solid. So these two measures and several measures work well together. One is to help, certainly the ag disaster measure will help farmers and ranchers, and then the conservation provisions will help, and further it'll help assist the Farm Bill, so we have a solid Farm Bill that our producers can count on. And I'm quite hopeful all this to get put together in the next several weeks, maybe the next month. So thank